Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's Nay here. So happy to have you here on my channel. Okay, so from the looks of the title of today's video, it is going to be about, do you have some Delilahs around you? Do you have a Delilah that is trying to persuade you, that is trying to say that they love you so that they could get some information from you? Are you dealing with some Delilahs? Okay, so let's get right into the tea, y'all. Let's get right into the tea. Let me make sure I'm right. Okay, so Delilah, y'all. First of all, let's do some Bible stories, Bible studying. For those that don't know, who don't even know what I'm talking about, who I'm talking about, Delilah was the second girl for Samson, okay? So if you go to Judges, let's say, I want to see where it starts. Judges chapter 13, that gives you the story about Samson. So let's talk about Samson. So Samson was, part of the children of Israel, and the children of Israel, they just kept doing evil around this time. You know what I'm saying? They just kept doing evil. So the Lord had delivered them into the hands of the Philistines for 40 years. And he had it where this is, let me tell you the parents. So it was Zorah, and whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren and she couldn't bear or whatever. And the Lord God came and appeared to her and told her that she was going to have a child, and his name was going to be Samson, and you couldn't put a razor on his head, nothing like that. He's going to be the person that's going to deliver his people from the Philistines. So that's basically how Samson came about. So when Samson was already born, before he was even born into this world, he was already blessed, anointed by God, right? So as Samson started to get older, whatever, he was like slaying these soldiers or whatever, doing what he needed to do for the kingdom. And he had started to fall for this girl that was part of the opposition, okay? She was an op. He wasn't supposed to trying to talk to her or nothing like that. She was part of the Philistines, and his parents was like, you couldn't find someone else that you wanted to marry, because he came back and he told them, like, listen, I met this girl. He probably had like a brief conversation with her, and he was like, listen, I met this girl and I want to marry her. So the parents was like, why you can't find somebody that's in our village, someone that is part of Israel or whatever like that. So the heart want what the heart wants. So he wanted this girl. I think her name was Taryn or something like that. Don't quote me on the name of the girl. So he started to get with Taryn, and he actually really loved this girl or whatever. And he could tell that although she was on the opposition side, she actually had a nice heart. You know what I'm saying? So the point was, her dad or whoever was supposed to give her over to Samson, but they kept playing games. He kept doing little foolish things. He kept playing games or whatever like that. And eventually he decided to like kill her in front of Samson, because Samson kind of got sick of it. I'm just giving you like a brief summary. Like I said, go to Judges chapter 13 and y'all can read up on it yourselves. All right. So basically Samson had got upset because something happened, and he decided to burn up all of their harvest or whatever like that. So the king or whatever came, and he was like, okay, I got a good game for you. Now I'm going to burn Taryn up with you. So with the harvest that you're burning, our crops or whatever. So he threw her down, and she burned or whatever when he started the fire, when Samson started the fire. So Samson was hurt by this because he really loved this girl. He could really tell like she loved him. She cared about him and stuff like that. Like his first love, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, so it was just like a sad time, you know what I'm saying? So Samson was definitely sad about that or whatever. He got his lick back. They had a war, whatever. He killed a couple people, So now years passed. I want to say maybe like 20 years, 10 years. I don't remember, but it tells you in the Bible how many years passed. Like several years passed. And here go the Opps. They still trying to figure out a way to get Samson out of here, because he was just so strong, okay? So they decide to use this woman who was on the opposition side named Delilah. And Miss Delilah, okay? Her spirit wasn't right. She wasn't like the first girl. She wasn't like a Taryn. She was easily deceived. So when Samson met her or whatever, I feel like when he met her, he he already wasn't like too sure about her because he was still, suffering the loss of his true love. So, just being around her and stuff like that, I believe that he was like talking about his true love, Taryn, and stuff like that. And of course, someone that's coming in new or whatever, or someone that haven't experienced that type of love, or someone that don't have someone that actually looks at them like that or cherish them or love them like that, can become envious. So I feel like when Samson was talking to her about his first love, he was thinking that she was actually understanding and getting it or whatever, but she really wasn't. She was really like envious of the relationship, of the love that he had for this woman, right? So it was easy for the opposition to get her to use him to figure out where did his strength come from, why was he so strong, blasey, blasey, blasey. So for like a period of days, it was like a couple days, like she kept asking him like, where does your strength come from? What is it? What is it? He was like, oh, if you tie me up with a string on my hands, then I'm going to be done. I can't be strong no more. So then she would send some men in. They would tie his hands up, and then boom, he broke out of it. She was like, why are you lying to me? You lying to me. So then another day she tried. He was like, oh, if you do this, then my strength is going to be gone. So she brought in the men. They tried it. And then she was like, why are you lying to me? Da-da-da-da. So this just kept happening to the point where she was like, she started to really get angry, and she was like, yo, how can you say you love me, but you're lying to me? You're not telling me where your strength comes from. Like, how can you say that you love me? And this is in Judges, I think, chapter 16, y'all. Let me go to this. Judges chapter 16. Yeah, and Delilah said, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. And Samson said unto her, if they bind me with 7 green whips that were never dry, then shall I be weak and be as another man. So that's chapter 12, verses 6. Okay, that's the first time she asked him. Right, so that's the first time she asked him this, after the Lord of the Philistines had tried to get her to figure out where his strength came from so they could bind him and afflict him or whatever like that. So and we will give thee, every one of us, 1,100 pieces of silver. So she was doing this for 1,100 pieces of silver, child. So then Samson said to her, so that's what happened. Then the Lord, they brought the 7 green whips. It didn't work, right? So Samson broke the whips, and then Delilah said, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, where mightest be bound? And he said it to her, if they bind me fast with new ropes that never was occupied, then shall I be weak and be as another man. So here she goes. She brought in the men, and they put new ropes or whatever. And he brake them from his arms like it was a piece of thread. Okay, nothing. And then Delilah said unto him again, you have mocked me and told me lies. Tell me where thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, thou weavest the 7 locks of my head with the web. And she fastened it with the pin. So he told her, if you like weave them all together, his locks and his head. So she fastened it with the pin. And the Philistines, they came and they tied it up with the web, whatever. But again, that didn't do nothing, because we know that the Lord already told Manoah and his dad or whatever, his dad and his mom, that you cannot put a razor to this man's head. This is where his strength comes from. You get what I'm saying? So now this is where she got to the point where she started to try to be really conniving and deceitful, to use that love word, yo. And this is why I said, do you have any Delilahs that's in your corner, that's in your space? It don't have to be romantic. It could be platonic. You know what I'm saying? There's some sneaky mother freakers around here, okay? So it said, and she said unto him, how can thou say I love thee when thy heart is not with me? Do y'all hear what this lady said to him? How can thou say, I love thee, when thy heart is not with me? How was Samson's heart not with you? Because he wouldn't tell you the secret that God told him not to tell nobody. So you want him to go against his vow to God to prove that he loved you. Samson should have knew better. Samson should have known that this was nothing but the enemy. Samson, he let his ego interfere with trying to please this woman, because she done got all soft. She done said, how can you say that you love me? How can you say that you care? Samson should have said, you know what? Maybe I don't love you. You right. My first love, she's dead. That's what Samson should have said, right? And then it said, it came to pass. This is chapter 16, verse 16. It said, and it came to pass When she pressed him daily with her words, she kept pressing him and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death. This, you got to be careful. There's people out here, they would keep pressuring you. They would keep saying things. They would keep saying, how you love me, but you're not doing this. How you say you love me, but you don't want this. How do you say you love me? And it's full of the devil. You have to be careful of these Delilah's, bro. So that his soul was vexed unto death. She did it to the point where he was just like, done here. She done enticed him so much where he was just like, okay, whatever, let me just tell this girl the truth. Like, she is beasting. And it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart and said unto her, there have not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. This is verse 18. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the Lord of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he hath showed me all his heart. So she knew that he was telling the truth this time, because he shown with his heart. So he must was in distress. He must was really like, all right, I'm gonna tell you. When she kept beasting, he must was just like, all right, like, I'm gonna just tell you, like, don't say that. Like, I do love you. I do care about you. Just to see, just the enemy just all over it. It's just Satan all over it. So now she calls for the lords of the Philistines. First of all, how you didn't know better when she kept calling them the 3 other times? Every time you told her something, she called them to come and break it, to thread your locks together, to put the thing around your hands. You know what I'm saying? Every time she did this and she called it the Philistines, and you didn't notice, you didn't think that was a red flag. It's like the red flags be in our face, but we choose not to listen to them. We really choose not to listen to them. It says, then the Lord of Philistines came up into her and brought money in their hand. And she made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for a man, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head. And she began to afflict him, and his strength went from him. Just like that. And she said, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he awoke out of his sleep and said, I will go out as other times before and shake myself. And he was not that the Lord was departed from him. But the Philistines took him and put out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza and bound him with fetters of brass, and he did grind in the prison house. How about the hair of his head began to grow again after he was shaven? Verse 23. Then the lords of the Philistines gathered them together for an offer, for a great sacrifice unto Dagon their god, and to rejoice, for they said, our God have delivered Samson our enemy into our hands. First of all, who the fuck is Dagon? They out here. This is why God don't even take these people. This is why God didn't even like these people. Who is Dagon? We got one God, the God of heavens, and his name ain't that. You know what I'm saying? And when the people saw him, they praised their God. Yeah, because it ain't my God. It ain't your God. It ain't our almighty God. It ain't the God that created everything now. Our God have delivered into our hands our enemy and the destroyer of our country, which slew many of us. And it came to pass when their hearts were merry that they said, call for Samson, that he may make us sport. And they called for Samson out of the prison house, and he made them sport. And they set him between the pillars. And Samson said unto the lad that held him by the hand, suffer me that I may feel the pillars whereupon the house standeth. So remember, he couldn't see. So he wanted them to put him between the 2 pillars, so he could touch and just lean on the pillars. Now the house was full of men and women, and all the lords of the Philistines were there. All the lords of the Philistines were there. And there were upon the roof about 3,000 men and women that behold while Samson made sports. So you had a whole congregation that was watching this, that was having a great time, believing that Dagon, their God, done sent their enemy to them. Like they was just going to be rejoicing forever and ever. Baby, no. And Samson called unto the Lord and said, oh Lord God, remember me. You know how that's when you know you messed up. That's when you know you messed up. That's when you know that you ain't listening. You ain't been listening to God. That's when you know you went against God. When you talking to God, you say, God, do you remember me? He said, God, remember me. Oh Lord, I pray thee and strengthen me. I pray thee only this once. He just wanted God to strengthen him this one time. Oh God, that I may be at once avenged of the Philistines for my 2 eyes. And Samson took hold of the 2 middle pillars. So now he's holding on to the 2 middle pillars. One hand on the right hand got one, left hand got the other pillar, right? And then it says, and Samson said, let me die with the Philistines. And he bowed himself with all his might. And the house fell upon the lords and upon all the people that were therein. So God did it where he let him get his strength, his almighty strength, one more time. Where he said, let me die with these Philistines, but I'm going to avenge these people. They not about to get this off. We all going to die. And he put his hands on the pillars and he bowed down to Christ, praying that he could just die and kill everybody with him. Show your strength. Remember me this one time, God, right? And he did. And God did. God gave him the strength and he killed everyone. So the dead which he slew of his death were more than which he slew in his life. He killed way more people when he died than he ever did when he was working for God, when he was doing what he's supposed to be doing to save Israel. He killed way more people when it was his death. Okay, so the dead which he slew at his death were more than they which he slew in his life. Then his brethren of the house of his father came down and took him and brought him up and buried him between Zorah and Eshtaol and the burying place of Manoah his father. And he judged Israel for 20 years. So God judged Israel for another 20 more years. Yo. That was chapter 16, Judges, y'all. Miss Delilah, Miss Delilah, Miss Delilah. Are you dealing with some Delilah's? You know what I'm saying? Do you have someone where, you know, they just can't get over the fact that, you know, you loved your first love? You might have had your first love and you just love them to death. You've been talking about them. You still not over them. And you're confiding in this new person, or you're confiding in a friend. Like I said, it could be platonic as well. It could just be a friendship, a best friend, whatever. And you're confiding in these people about this love that you have for this person, how this girl was perfect to you, or how this man was perfect to you. You know what I'm saying? How you really love this person. But because they have envy in their heart, because they don't know no one that could talk about these things with them, they feel some type of way. I made a post. I said, be careful who you're around this season. If you're looking for love, make sure that people that you're around is looking for the same thing. If not, they will hinder your blessing because they're still feeling sad about the mistreatment that they got in their past relationship. You know, not everybody is going to get that feeling of real love from God. You know, you're not. You're not. Just like everyone is not going to be chosen to be a speaker or a leader of the kingdom. Not everyone is going to be chosen. God picks. You know what I'm saying? So God picked who's going to actually experience this real love. And Samson experienced a real kingdom type of marriage love. Samson experienced this with the first girl, Taryn or whatever. Because he knew her heart. Yes, she was part of the opposition. But he knew her heart. He could feel her heart. So now that he was already sad and heartbroken, it was easy for the enemy to come in and deceive him because he was still feeling that pain and that heart from his first relationship. Are y'all feeling me right now? Y'all feeling me? Be careful. The enemy will send that right person that you're calling your best friend. You calling your sister from another mister, brother from another mother. Whole time it's the enemy that's being deceitful, that's trying to stir up confusion, that's trying to get you off your path, that's trying to get you to forget about your first love. That feels some type of way that you even speak highly of this love. Delilah felt some type of way for sure. She was so envious to the fact that he was about his first love. I promise you that. I promise you that. And because she didn't have the true love of Christ, and her heart wasn't right, She was easily able to be deceived by the Lord of the Philistines for 1,100 shekels of silver. Now you dead. Now all your lords is dead. Even your God is dead. Because that little statue or whatever that y'all was praising and worshiping is dead, is gone. The whole building gone, dead, gone, out of here. Poof. For what? For what? So I'm just here to tell you, listen, be clear, yo. Stay clear, yo. Be careful, yo. Open up your eyes. Samson, he waited till it was too late. You, be clear, be careful, be smart. You know Satan always think he's smart. You need to be smarter than him. Be smarter than him. He will send certain people in your life to get you off of your path, to deceive you, to make you think that what you're feeling or how you felt about that person was false. Or make you feel like, oh, well, forget her. You love me now. I'm with you. I will always be there for you. I love you. I care about you. Tell me all your secrets just so that they could use them against you. You're out here confiding in the wrong people. You're confiding in the wrong people. You're telling haters. You're telling people that have envy in their heart. You're telling people whose heart is cold. You're telling people who have no idea what it feels like to really love. These people never experience that because they've been in karmic relationships for life. So you're explaining to them how you feel about a person and they will never understand because they don't even understand God. They don't have the love. God didn't choose them to experience this type of love. Not everyone is blessed with a kingdom marriage. A kingdom marriage is going to shake things up. A kingdom marriage, you have things that you're supposed to be doing, together. You guys are breaking generational curses. You guys are going against witches and warlocks in your bloodline. This is why kingdom marriages are so important. So you cannot be deceived by these karmic soulmates that get sent on your path. Full of insecurities, full of hate. These people will never understand. You have some people in your circle that you're dealing with, whoever I'm speaking to right now. You're dealing with people who don't ever, will never, can never imagine the feeling that you felt. The same way that they could never understand the feeling that Samson felt for his first wife, Taryn. And you want to know what's crazy? Now no one even really talks about Samson and Taryn. It's always Samson and Delilah. It's always Samson and Delilah. Now we know the story where you was deceived. Now we know the story where your locks was cut off. We only know the bad story. You ask people who was Samson's wife or who was Samson's girl, they're going to say Delilah. They don't even know about the first love. Because that was the enemy's plan, to just wipe that out. To wipe that out. This is your true love. I know Delilah was telling me, I love you. I'm here for you. How do you say that you love me? And you won't even tell me your biggest, dirtiest secrets. You need to be careful for people like that. Trying to get every piece of dirt they can on you. Trying to get all the tea that they can on you. God said, be silent. God said, be silent. You don't know the person you're confiding in, that friend you're confiding in, that new lover you're confiding in, that sister, cousin, auntie, uncle, brother, could be part of the Opps. Could literally be trying to get information for some 1,100 shekels of silver. Selling their soul. Literally. For some silver pieces. Be careful who's in your corner right now. Be careful who's in your circle right now. They have your mind deceived. They have you deceived. They have you thinking that, true love don't exist. When you know it exists. You probably felt it. You know what true love is. You know that you can have that fairy tale story. You know that you can have that wedding. You know that you can have your children. You know what true love is. But you're around these people that is making you feel like you can't have that. Because they haven't had it. They had no success in their relationships. They've been cheated on. They've been lied on. They've been beat on. So why would you think that they can see that far? Why would you think that they would even understand how you feel? They don't, what? A lot of these people just was settling. A lot of these people rushed into marriages. They've rushed into situations just to have a man, just to say that they have someone. They was never supposed to do it. But you out here, you talking to them about your first love, about someone that you love, about how you want to get true love, how you want to be a wife, or you want to be a husband, you want to do this. They not going to listen. They don't feel you, bro. They not going to feel you. They're not going to feel you. And are you going to make it get to the last end where they actually go against you and you lose everything that was part of your promise and you go against God? Samson went against God when he told her the secret. Samson went against God. I'm not going against God for nobody. I'm not disobedient. I did things and I was being disobedient in the past, but Lord Jesus, I'm reborn again. I am not being disobedient for nobody. If God telling me to do something, God telling me to tell something, say something, speak on something, I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to listen this time because I know better. I done learned my lessons. And I thank God that I didn't have to get all the way to the point where it caused into death. You know what I'm saying? Confiding in these people. You never know what their plans was. Thank you, God, for saving me, yo. I thank God for choosing me because I had situations where people was deceiving me and making me think that they actually cared. No, you didn't care. You was actually emotionally abusive. A lot of these people, what Delilah was doing was emotional abuse. She was manipulating him. That's emotional abuse. Are you in an emotionally abusive relationship? Are you in an emotionally abusive connection, best friendship, situationship, brotherhood, sisterhood? They don't want to be, they can't be happy for you. And like Delilah would have seen Terrence, she probably would have been jealous. Make sure you're not feeding the ego of the enemy. This enemy is probably jealous of your love or your first love. They never could do the things that your first love is doing. They never could look like your first love. They don't have the courage. They don't have the strength. They don't even have the beauty. And you listening to these people, people that want to be your first love, people that wish that they was your first love. You got undercover friends out here that's liking you, trying to, thank you, Holy Spirit, trying to act like y'all just friends. But they wish you could talk to them and give them, you know, that love that you was giving to that relationship. They want that. But they out here, they settling for just a friend title just for now. Be careful for these Delilahs, yo. The enemy is very slick. You be like, oh, I know them for a couple years. Oh, I grew up with them. Oh, I did this. Don't you think that's what the enemy knew he could do just so he could have you stuck, so you could think that you're not supposed to get rid of them or get away from these people because you've known them for centuries? Who are you loyal to? Are you loyal to them or are you loyal to God? Because if you're loyal to God, you're going to listen to what God said. In that moment, Samson was not loyal to God. Samson was loyal to Delilah. And that's why everything happened how it happened, because he lost the loyalty to God. Like I said, I'm not going against God for nobody. No sister, no brother, no auntie, no cousin. I don't care about that. You got to go. If you're not believing what I'm saying, you got to go. If I'm telling you that I love this person, I want to be with this person, and something is pulling me to this person, God is telling me that this is my person, and you not agreeing or, backing me up with that, you got to go. And many times we'll be deceived. You might think this person is for you, and they ain't. But God will expose and let you know when someone really is your person, and you will know. And it might be that first love. Because no one ever gives you that feeling. Ain't nobody I don't care how much Delilah was in Samson's face. She wasn't giving him that feeling that Taryn gave. The first day he saw Tyrion when he was going to fight. When he was fighting their biggest man, the Philistines' biggest man. He couldn't even start the fight because he kept looking at her. He was wondering about her. He needed to get the deets on her. Who is she? Where's she from? That was love. Like I said that in my other video. You're going to know it's a mutual connection. And she felt it too. She kept looking at him too. They both probably was feeling butterflies. She just was trying to hide it a little bit because she knew she was on the opposition side. But he didn't care. He knew that this was his wife. And he told his mom and he told his dad. And they was like, you can't find somebody from our village? Nope. This is what God said. This is my person right here. So he listened when it came to that. But then the enemy got him after he was heartbroken because she was gone. So be careful when you're in your most heartbroken seasons. The enemy will use these people to come in and try to trick you, try to tell you that this is not what you're feeling or this is not who you're supposed to be with. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you sure not this person, but this person. Start making up lies, rumors about your person, anything just to get you to not get that true love. And it don't even be them. You know, we fighting against principalities and spirits. So it's the enemy, it's the devil that's inside of them that's trying to get them to say whatever they can say to get you away from your promise. To move you away from your promised land. To move you away from your milk and honey season land. Be careful with these people, y'all. First of all, you need to be careful with people when you know you different. How you the only person that have a certain conscience? How you the only person that won't do certain things but you in this friend group? You would never have done the things that these friends did, but you hanging with them. You coochie crunch with them. This your brother, this your sister though. You don't even like how they move. You don't even like how they think. You're way loving and giving in them. You're way more conscious than them. You won't even put yourself in these situations. You're not even inspired by these people. Thinking of their lives, it makes you get like choked up. Like, oh no. This is why you don't feel like you can have this fairy tale life because of the people in your circle. They having mommy and daddy issues. They having baby daddy issues. Baby mama issues. Husband and wife issues. They getting beat down. They having fights. You got all this karmic energy going on around you, which makes you think that that's your life. That's what you're supposed to be getting. You can't never have a fairy tale love story that God has for you. No, that's bullshit. Get away from these people. Get away from these people. Your circle should consist of people that you are inspired by. Your circle shouldn't consist of people that know God and know Christ and know that God is peace and love. These people is out here cursing God, mad at God for their situations, for their karmic dumb decisions that they made. God ain't tell you to do that. God ain't tell you to marry that man. You was trying to get that man before somebody else got that man. And look, God gave him to you. And now look what happened. You wanted to get married because everybody around you was getting married. You felt like, oh, time was running out. Time was running out. So you did what you did. But now that things didn't work out, now you got a bitter heart. Now you out here, you single. Single and mingling. F these people. F this. I don't F love. And you want to be hanging around people like this? You think that this is what God has for you? Do you think that these is the friends that God has for you? Out of all these billion people in the world, you think that God wants you to be with these miserable folks? Why would God want you to be with these miserable people? They don't even pray to him for real. They cursing him for their lives and their choices and decisions. They're cursing him because they was deceived by Delilah themselves. So they still mad at God, and you think that you're supposed to be in that number, in that circle, in that vibe with them. You better get out. If you really want to be blessed and you want the things that God has for you, you need to get away from these people. Get away from these Delilahs. I don't care how much they try to say they love you. I don't care how much gifts they want to give you. How much they're there when you want to talk on the phone. Yeah, they always down to gossip. Gossiping ain't even right. Can't talk about nothing productive. They always talking about gossip and what's going on in their life. You notice you can't say that they really helped you. You helping them. You ministering to them. You getting them out of their dark days. You helping them with their karmic decisions that they made. Are they really helping you though? No, they not really helping you. Like, keep it a buck, yo. Keep it real. Keep it super real. We keep it real over here on this channel. They're not helping you. I had to break away from people. I hear people start talking foolish about how they don't want to get married. They going to have this amount of baby moms. They going to do this. Forget love and all this. Oh, I stopped being around you. I don't want that energy because I don't feel like that. I know that when God's time is right, and when I'm positioned how I'm supposed to be positioned, I'm aligned how I'm supposed to be aligned in my purpose and doing what I'm supposed to be, then I know God is going to send me my love and my true love. So why would I be around people that's trying to put in my mind that I'm not deserving of love? I'm not deserving of these things. This has always been a dream of you. You've always dreamed this as a little kid, to have a wife and have all these kids and have a family and live good and da-da-da-da. And these people done sucked it out of you. You're letting the enemy win. You're letting the enemy win. You done got a Jezebel spirit all up in you. You out here just fornicating. Just nasty. What, you waiting for God to give you a disease? You waiting for God to give you 10 kids or something? What you doing? What are you doing? God out here showing mercy on you because he know this is not the life that he had for you. But you still in these environments. You still entertaining these people and stuff like that. Get away from them. Keep it cute. Hey, how you doing? Da-da-da, but don't discuss nothing that ain't their business. Because people not happy for you. You need to learn who you could tell certain things to, yo. People push the people that you're supposed to tell the things to away and tell everything to these gossiping, miserable folks. Like, what are we doing, yo? I don't want to have to die with my ops because I didn't answer God's call. I didn't listen to what God told me to do. I didn't separate myself. I didn't get into isolation mode. I didn't get more in my Bible. I didn't get more serious about God. I'm not trying to die with the ops. Ain't no fun in that. Samson could have still been alive, yet he wouldn't have been deceived by Delilah. It's the ego thing. Y'all feeding y'all egos. Oh, that's my friend. Oh, that's my sis. Oh, that's my baby. That's my new girlfriend, whatever. That's my new boyfriend, whatever. He loves me. He said he loves me. Stop it. The enemy know how to say they love you very much. They know exactly, the enemy know exactly, I said they because he got a couple angels that's working for him. They know exactly how to get you to do things. They know exactly where to get you to, fall. The enemy knew to get into Delilah and have her saying, oh, how can you say that you love me, but you're not telling me this, this, and this? How are you going to lie to me? You mocking me. The enemy was speaking through her. He knew, oh, if I say this going to get him right here. This going to make him tell me the truth. Be careful out here, yo. It's people that's doing things purposely to get something out of you, yo. People that's jealous. Delilah probably been jealous, been envious of his first love. She been hating him. He probably was speaking on her, speaking about her, speaking how much he loved her and cared about her, how great the relationship was, how much he really loved her. That's the biggest part, how much they loved each other. You think that she wanted to hear that? No, she didn't want to hear that. You think your friends want to hear that when they never been loved properly? Or they never loved properly themselves? No, they don't want to hear that. So you out here sharing all this loving and exciting news, and you telling the enemy the whole time. They're plotting against you the whole time. Trying to figure out ways to keep you away from this person the whole time. Trying to figure out ways to get your strength. She just wanted to figure out ways, how is he strong? She just wanted to figure out how to mess up his strength. She didn't care about nothing he was talking about. All she cared about was getting that 1,100 shekels of silver and sending him to the Philistines, like they said. That's all she cared about. So make sure these people that you're confiding in, these people you're telling your business and things to, these Delilah'S, make sure they actually care, because a lot of people got motives and they only care about one thing. And you telling them too much. They don't care. Stop telling people things that's not on the same energy or vibe as you. They don't want to get married. They've been there. The marriage was a disaster because it wasn't a godly marriage. It wasn't a God-ordained marriage. So now you talking about marriage and you talking about love. They don't want to hear that. I don't care how much they smiling, trying to act like they there for you. They don't want to hear that. Their hearts is so envious. Their heart is so cold. It's literally a brick. You say love, their heart is literally, they're inside, their heart is just like, ugh. Oh, I tried that, child. You know, marriages suck, and this is gonna happen. They gonna be cheating. They always cheating, yeah, and this, and this. And then they get to going about certain zodiac signs, and oh yeah, well they gonna be a cheater. Yeah, he's a cheater. He's this sign. Oh yeah, he a cheater. Oh yeah, I dealt with somebody that sign. They gonna be cheating. Zodiac signs, yes, they might have, you know, similar characteristics, but baby, everybody ain't no cheater. Just because they're a Libra, that don't mean that all Libras is cheaters. Just because they're a Cancer don't mean all Cancers lie and cheat. It don't work like that. That person gonna lie and cheat if they're a Cancer or a Libra or a Sag or an Aries for the devil. But if it's a person that's of God and believes in God and fears God, that's the biggest. A lot of people don't even fear God. But if you fearing God, you're not going to be just doing things maliciously out here. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think I'm going to end that like that, yo. Make sure. Examine your circle. Examine your space. Make sure you don't have no Delilah'S around you that's trying to act like they love you, trying to act like they care for you. Why? They don't care for you if they don't want you to find true love. They don't care for you if they don't want you to be happy. How can this person care for you if they don't want you to be happy? How can this person truly love you and care for you when you're sharing good news and good things about them, and they give you evil eye the whole time? People out here giving you evil eye, hating. You can't even bring certain things up. Man, listen. Be careful out here. Don't be easily deceived. It's a lot of Delilah'S out here. Friends. Fake behind friends. Just full of that spirit. Leading you astray. Telling you to do the wrong thing. Telling you to go against God. He knew that he was never supposed to shave his head. That was the one thing God said when he appeared to his dad and said that he was going to bear a son. You cannot shave this man's head. Samson knew that. But these people would trick you. They were going to get in your mind. They're going to tell you, oh no, you could go cheat. Oh no, you could go have sex with this person, this person. Oh yeah, you could go get drunk till you a skunk. Don't that sound like the devil? That sounds like the devil to me. Oh yeah, my word, you could do this and this and this. Don't even listen to God. He just wants to be in charge. He thinks he's in charge. But in my world, you could do this, this, and this. And guess what? He gonna be the same one that's helping push you in that pit of fire before he gets to hell, y'all. So that's how I'm gonna end this message. Be careful out here. I'm sorry. It's too much going on out here for me to be deceived. It's too much going on out here for me to be disobedient to God. I'm scared of people that is not scared of God. I'm afraid of you. And I don't even want you around me. If you're persuading people to do things that you know they shouldn't be doing, get away from me. I don't even want you around me. you're backing people up with BS. You know that ain't right. Why is you persuading this person to be living a sinful life? If none of your friends, these so-called friends, is checking you when you say, oh, I want to do this and I want to do this, and they know it's full of sins, and they not checking you, you think that's a true friend from God? You think that God wants you to still be friends for real with this person? Yes, when they're in your space, show love, but you need to learn how to treat people. Not everybody should be that close friend. Not everybody should be that best friend title. Like, what are we doing here? Y'all just giving titles to anybody because they answer the phone, because y'all have a couple long conversations or something like that. Because they dumping all their trauma and they BS on you. Go dump it on God. That's the thing. You too accessible. They need to be going praying and telling God their issues, but they dumping it to you because you listening all hard. And now they done planted these things in your mind, thinking that, you know, you don't deserve a true love story. Why would you think that? God didn't even tell you that. So you're not even listening to what God's saying. Jezebel's all wrapped up in this. It's always Jezebel. It's always Jezebel. But alright, y'all. I'm going to holla at y'all. See y'all in my next video. Bye.